Trying to get LRT back on track. Officials answering questions at City Hall today, but there's still no clear timeline for when some of the ongoing mechanical issues will be permanently fixed. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Rideau Transit Group and Alstom, the builder behind Ottawa's LRT, were put in the hot seat today in front of city councillors to answer questions about the problems that continue to plague the system. CTV's Dyson joins us with more on this. Dylan.
Yes, Stefan, RTG and Alstom say a fix for Ottawa's Line 1 trains could take years. The two groups say they still don't know what is causing all the trains' problems like derailments and Szperling, but are working on an axle redesign and prototype. Some double car service resumed today on the LRT. OC Transpo says it is confident full service will resume in June, but still can't commit to an opening date for the East End extension. And on a day where RTG and Alstom made a rare appearance at City Hall to answer questions, many councillors were left unimpressed with their answers.
Why are we not able to estimate an opening date? We have the carriages, we have the parts, we know how long the replacement takes. You should be able to map this out.
I'm concerned about the near-term Canada Day Blues Fest. That does not function without double train sets. And I'm really concerned about September and return to office. We've got to get this right.
The city has put a mileage limit of 100,000 kilometers on all trains, requiring those that hit that limit to be removed from service and have parts replaced. Alstom says it has a sufficient supply of parts to manage those replacements, but in the meantime, replacements is all that can be done until an axle system redesign is fully approved. Stefan.
All right, CTV's Dyson reporting live for us. Thank you for this, Dylan. Drivers are becoming frustrated and facing delays in recent days with a new section of construction along Highway 417. Construction work along a portion of the Queensway, Highway 417 near Pinecrest Road, is causing slowdowns. While this is a provincial highway, Ontario's Ministry of Transportation says the work being carried out is by the City of Ottawa. The city confirming this is part of the ongoing Stage 2 LRT expansion.
Lane closures or lane shifts are for Stage 2 work. It's associated with overhead signage that we're putting in along the 417 that has been bundled as part of our project.
According to the city, a lane shift is in place until July 28th, impacting a single lane in both the east and westbound directions. Auto shop Canada Wheels has identified the employee who died following an incident in the mechanical bay last weekend. Jordan Younger died after a tire ruptured at the shop. In a statement, Canada Wheels says the freak accident at our facility was tragic and devastating. The business says Younger was family to all of us, adding, the loss we feel is immeasurable. The Ministry of Labour is investigating. 3 Toronto area residents are facing charges in connection to distraction thefts in Ottawa's South End. Police say they received 6 calls for distraction-style thefts in the span of an hour on May 2nd. In each case, the suspects engaged the victims in conversation to divert attention while stealing valuables. Police seized gold necklaces, rings, and high-end watches. Prime Minister Mark Carney announced the government's new national energy strategy today. The big headline, he wants to double the country's electricity grid by 2050. The government says it expects demand for electricity to double over the next 2 decades, and meeting that demand will require what it calls generational investments in generation, transmission, storage, and grid modernization. The Prime Minister says one of the key items will be linking Canada's fragmented grids.
Today, Canada is powered by many separate electricity grids, most of which aren't connected to each other. In many cases, it's easier to trade electricity with the United States than across our own country. And that fragmentation costs us billions of dollars.
The government is also expanding support for energy-saving retrofits for up to 1 million households. That includes programs that will make it easier for Canadians to transition from expensive technologies like propane, oil, and electric baseboard heating to more affordable heat pumps. Well, electricity is in the air this evening as the Ottawa Charge are getting set to take on the Montreal Victoire in the PWHL Walter Cup final. Game 1 in the best-of-5 series kicks off tonight in Laval. It's the first time in PWHL history that 2 Canadian teams will play in the final. That's where our CTV News Montreal colleague Olivia O'Malley is standing by live. Olivia.
Stefan, the Ottawa Charge are looking to redeem themselves this year. They obviously made it to the finals last year, but fell short, much to many Charges fans' upset. They lost to the Minnesota Frost last year. Now, to get here tonight, the Montreal Victoire actually had to beat the Frost. They did it just earlier this week. Game 1, as you mentioned, of the Professional Women's Hockey League final is tonight at Place Belle in Laval, just north of Montreal. It's the first ever all-Canadian showdown and the first time a new champion will be crowned. This is the top-seeded Victoire's first appearance in the finals. They failed to make it past the semifinals for the past 2 years. In the regular season, the two teams met 4 times. Montreal won 3 of those games and outscored Ottawa 10-2. As you mentioned, this is a best-of-5 series, meaning the first team to win 3 games will be crowned the PWHL's newest champion, and they will have the chance to hoist the Walter Cup. Puck drop is at 7 o'clock tonight, Stefan.
Thank you, Olivia, and we certainly here in Ottawa are looking forward to that, but I understand that in Montreal there's also a Habs game tonight, so do you feel like that's splitting the focus for these 2 epic teams that your city has?
Well, you know what? I was at the Habs game the other night when the Victoire were playing, and there was lots of people with Poulin jerseys. So I'm sure the love will be equally spread between the 2 teams. Maybe some people checking scores of both games on their phones, as there is quite a large following for both, and lots of hockey to go around in the city tonight, Stefan.
All right, that's CTV's Olivia O'Malley reporting live for us tonight outside Place Belle in Laval. And you can watch tonight's Charge game live on TSN. As Olivia mentioned, puck drop is at 7 p.m. Canada's top doctor says there are now 36 people in the country being monitored for Hantavirus after an additional 26 contacts were identified. European health officials deemed those new contacts as no risk of infection, but Canada is taking a more cautious approach.
Again, in Canada, we're taking a precautionary approach, and we have deemed them to be minimal or low risk as opposed to no risk. The provinces and territories, therefore, are undertaking the work to contact these 26 individuals and provide them with information and monitor them throughout this time.
Dr. Reimer says these new contacts don't need to isolate unless local health officials recommend it. Breaking down the numbers in Canada, there are now 27 low-risk and 9 high-risk contacts, which includes the cruise ship passengers and their close contacts. All are asymptomatic. The outbreak began on the cruise ship MV Hantavirus. 3 people were from that ship, and they've died from the virus. A new supportive housing building in Ottawa's South End officially opened today, with supporters calling it a major step forward in addressing affordable housing and mental health challenges.
Great day, everyone.
A ribbon cutting took place for Ottawa's Salus new supporting housing building on Capilano Drive. The 54-unit project is designed for older adults living with mental health, substance use, and housing challenges. It offers wraparound support services with the goal of helping residents age in place.
It's a day of great pride, but also humility. Humility that the community believes and supports the clients that we serve. And our community, our government, our funders, federal, provincial, local, have come together and made this happen.
The building will provide on-site supports, including mental health services, addiction support, and community program for residents.
This is really a journey into the beauty and science of color in nature, with over 200 specimens.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, a sneak peek at a vivid new exhibition at the Museum of Nature, exploring color in the natural world. And time now for our first look at the forecast. We are currently sitting at 12 degrees. You may notice that the skies are a little gloomy. There's a chance of showers. We did hit a daytime high of about 14 degrees earlier today. Around the region, we are kind of the warmer temperature on the map currently, 11 degrees in Cornwall, Brockville. Kingston is sitting at 10 right now. They might be seeing some rainfall. Kittigan-Zibi, 9 degrees, and 9 degrees in Pembroke. So many of the valley municipalities, 9 degrees. Maniwaki sitting at 9. If you're headed away for a long weekend, know that it is 13 degrees in Montreal and Mont-Tremblant at this time. Here's what you need to know. The Main Street Farmers Market returns for the season this Saturday, May 16th. Support more than 20 local vendors. The market is held at Grande Allée Park from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. Taking a live look at traffic right now, we did mention that the corridor around Pinecrest on the Queensway has some ongoing construction that's frustrating drivers. The usual slowdown spots, especially in the westbound lanes. You start to see some backups around Parkdale. That will stretch out to about Woodruff. You're watching CTV News at 5. Our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. Taking a closer look now at one of our top stories, there's progress being made on redesigning axle hubs that have caused major mechanical issues on OC Transpo's O Train Line 1 trains, but officials say a long-term fix could still be years away. Today's radio question of the day is asking, is OC Transpo on the right track?
OC Transpo has been, it's beyond a disaster, and if this city council doesn't think that the people that are paying for this don't have a right to know what's going on, then we need to get rid of all of them and find people that know how to communicate with the people that pay the bill. This is absolutely ridiculous, and I'm not putting up with it anymore.
Christy Cameron is here with more on this. Atlaser said he's not putting up with it anymore, but it feels like, what choice do we have?
Yeah, well,
we're at the mercy.
We're living it. I suppose the good news today is that they did have some double cars on the train service this morning. That was a bit of a nice surprise, but overall, you're looking at the big questions that haven't been answered here. I know that I am. We don't know the root cause of the Szperling snafu that happened in January, the metal flaking inside a part of the train. We had a derailment a couple of years ago. That was a different bearing issue. As you mentioned, the train maker Alstom is redesigning the axle. That could still be years away. And the one thing that I'm pretty worked up about is we don't know how much money that new prototype or that redesign is going to cost us. We don't know how much money we've been paying RTG, RTM. Right. That's all confidential. That's all behind closed doors. And when Councillor Sean Menard today asked, are we withholding money? What about the payments? They said in the winter that we were. Right. He was told, that's commercial information. We can't talk about that. I understand. There's a degree of confidentiality. That is why Ottawa City Council will go in camera. Not everything can be an open session. But, you know, I think members of the public deserve to have some accountability. Even just a yes or no would be more heartening, more reassuring, because we're told time and time again, oh, don't worry, we're going to hold them accountable. Don't worry, we're withholding payments. And then today we were told, we can't share that information with you. All the while, we have been footing the bill for this. It was $2.1 billion. We have not had regular capacity on the train since January. It is May long weekend. It's unacceptable. We should not be paying full freight. And if they can't tell us what we're paying, we need to see results mid-June. They've got to deliver on this. This is the first big test for Rick Leary. We'll wait and see.
Thank you for this, Christy. I'm sure many public transit users agree with you, as well as everyone who's a taxpayer in this city. You can join the conversation and leave a comment through the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. You can listen live to Christy Cameron on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 2 to 6. And now watch Christy's segments on YouTube. Subscribe to the News Talk 580 CFRA channel. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Victoria Day will look a little different in Ontario this year. Many retail stores and malls will be able to open on the holiday because of changes made by the province. Here's what else you need to know. The Tony Award-winning Moulin Rouge, the musical, is taking the stage this week at the National Arts Centre. The vibrant show is here in the capital until this Sunday. You can visit the venue's website for tickets and all the details. Another live check on traffic right now. You can see that westbound at Bronson and O'Connor seeing some slowdowns. Those slowdowns stretch all the way out to about Woodruff. Nicholas, right now, you're approaching the traffic. If you're headed west, eastbound's looking good. Riverside is smooth sailing in both directions. You're watching CTV News at 5, and we'll be right back.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, it's Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford. Take your weekend path. We've got the Bronco Sport for it.
Coming up tonight on CTV News after the 6 o'clock newscast, E-Talk starts at 7, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage at 7:30, Next Level Chef at 8, Fear Factor at 9, and Celebrity Jeopardy at 10. Now for another check on the weather, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. The current temperature, 12 degrees out there right now under cloudy skies. And taking a look at our satellite radar picture, you can see all of the cloud coverage throughout the region. We could see some precipitation late this afternoon into this evening. There's a 70% chance that we will see some rainfall tonight. As we take a look at the current temperatures right across the region, overnight the low will be 7 degrees here in the capital, 22 degrees, mostly cloudy skies tomorrow. When we take a look at the valley, a little colder overnight, 4 degrees, cloudy skies there, lots of sunshine in the valley tomorrow with a daytime high of 20 degrees. As we take a look at the Seaway, very similar conditions when it comes to cloud coverage. You saw on the satellite radar picture there, pretty much the entire region is blanketed by clouds, a mix of sun and cloud tomorrow to kick things off tomorrow, and 20 degrees for the daytime high there. Along the Seaway, closer to the water, slightly windier, northeast winds gusting around 15 kilometers per hour tomorrow. And taking a look at that 5-day forecast now, if May so far has felt like March to you, things are certainly going to turn around this long weekend. 22 degrees for the daytime high tomorrow. Saturday, a 30% chance of rain, but a steady climb, 23 degrees. Sunday, lots of sunshine, 21, 25 degrees on the holiday Monday. A mix of sun and cloud there, but it should be a wonderful day to be out and about, still checking out the tulips. And on Tuesday, look at that, 30 degrees, feeling more like summer.
Weather is brought to you by Manotick Tree, complete tree care from start to stump.
And here's a look at the stories you're checking out right now on CTV News Ottawa.ca. If you got caught up in some traffic on the 416 or maybe you witnessed a collision, we have all the details on our website. There was a transport truck driver that suffered some serious injuries in a collision. That was around 2:30 this afternoon. It was around County Road 21. And we did speak to OPP spokesperson who said it happened in the southbound lanes of the highway near County Road 21. Some people got caught up in that traffic. Again, that was southbound. If you're northbound, you may have seen it on the other side. We have lots more to come here on CTV News at 5. But again, all those details at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The Gatineau Police logo debacle, why the service is scrapping its new logo just one day after revealing it to the public. We'll have more details on that very shortly. And here's what you need to know. Cheer on Atletico Ottawa as they take on Halifax Wanderers FC this Sunday at TD Place Stadium. And it's Toonie Hot Dog Day. Game time is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Here's another live check on traffic. Taking a look at the Queensway. Moody is moving well in both directions, as is some of the lanes around the Bell's Corner, so that's west of the downtown core. You can see those backups really in the westbound lanes around Pinecrest, Woodruff, Parkdale, looking more like a parking lot at this time with a lot of those brake lights going.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's another live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Lots of cloud coverage out there. Again, a 70% chance of rain tonight. So if you plan on being out and about, it wouldn't be a bad idea to bring an umbrella with you. Current temperature is 12 degrees. Time now for a look ahead to CTV News at 6. Here's Patricia Bull.
Really wishing I had brought that umbrella. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
I'll be held accountable at any point in time, to be honest with you. You know, 6 months from now, if you don't start seeing things change, there will be challenges, right? We still have old buses in this fleet. But if you don't start seeing some of the KPIs change, then, you know, you can hold me accountable.
We sit down for a one-on-one with OC Transpo's new boss, Rick Leary, who says he is not afraid of big moves for Ottawa's troubled light rail system.
Canada will double its electricity generation over the course of the next 2 decades.
The federal government launched its national energy strategy today with a plan to double Canada's grid by 2050.
The lane shifts are for stage 2 work. It's associated with overhead signage that we're putting in along the 417.
And it has not been an easy drive. Already lots of complaints about this and more lane closures on the 417 this spring and summer, contributing to increased traffic and delays for drivers. We'll break down the impact on your commute and let you know how long all of this will last. All of that and more coming up tonight on CTV News at 6. That's right after the early edition of CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo at 5:30. Steph.
Thank you, Patricia. Now the final 5 other stories we're following today. The Victoria Day long weekend is approaching, and for the first time, retailers across the province will have the option to stay open on the stat holiday. Changes to Ontario's Retail Business and Holiday Act mean stores and malls in the province can open on Victoria Day as well as Family Day. But all government offices will still be closed on Monday, along with banks, libraries, and community centres. You can head over to our website, ctvnewsottawa.ca, for a full list of what's open and closed on Monday. Gatineau Police scrapping its new logo after discovering the design included elements from a stock image library. The service unveiled the new logo on Wednesday, featuring a stylized bird and darker blue shield and gold-colored borders. However, residents raised concern the bird graphic was featured in an Adobe blog post about minimalist logo design. So Gatineau Police is reverting back to its original logo.
This opportunity is really an opportunity to step into the rainbow and to really, the exhibition is sorted through colors.
The Canadian Museum of Nature has a new exhibit called Wild Color. The exhibit explores the beauty and science of color in the natural world. Wild Color opens to the public tomorrow, and you can see it until January 7th of next year.
A lot of the residents have concerns that we want to answer their questions and make sure everyone's happy, and if they have any comments, we'd like to respond.
Developer Bridgehill held a community information session last night over its proposed new development on Baseline Road. The plan has been met with pushback from the community and the area councillor. The rental and commercial development would include 2 30-story buildings. Among residents' concerns are the height, traffic, and lack of parking. It would add about 800 units to the area. Athletes will be testing their limits and reaching for victory at the Cohere Centre this weekend. The first High Rocks Ottawa event runs until Sunday with events all weekend. High Rocks combines both running and functional workout stations where participants will run for 1 kilometer at a time, then do a functional workout station, repeating it 8 times. That is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. The early edition of CTV National starts right now. Thanks for watching.